Oh, I see that. I just created a beautiful mark in our timeline.
With no sound, just the.
You didn't hear the clap?
I did not.
What?
I saw your hands come together so slowly, Hank. There's no way it made sense.
Are you not hearing that?
That's now there's 17 peaks.
Did you hear that?
That I didn't hear.
That's so weird.
I heard it when you clapped like 17 times, but I heard nothing when you clapped a single time loudly. Nothing. It's probably because I'm talking at the same time. Maybe it's cutting out. Try again. Nope, nothing.
What a great intro to a video. Hey, what's going on, guys?
I hear your voice. Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I am here with the beautiful Zen State Fab, also known as Jay, also known as the best caster that's ever casted a Viserai match. How's it going, buddy?
That's undeniable. I really can't say much about that introduction. It was the best introduction I've ever been introduced by. I'm doing well, man. How are you? It's nice to see your face and talk to you.
Oh my god.
And play games with you. We just played a game together.
I know, dude. That was sick. I can't wait for people to see it on the League That Means Nothing. Both of us are 4-1.
We are both 4-1, correct?
Yeah.
We're both locked in for top 8, so it was just for fun, just for
that, I mean, that's 2 of 8 spots for Runeblades that are unplayable right now. That's
unplayable,
pretty good.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
Unplayable.
2 unplayable Runeblades in the top 8. That's exciting.
We got no support from this set either. So
I wish I would have got some support. I don't know what support is. Is that like when someone holds you? I haven't been held in a while.
Yeah. I'm sorry I'm not there. I would hold you.
Oh man, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So anyway, if you guys are looking for a video where 2 people come to this like brilliant topic and they discuss it and it's wonderful, just stop watching now, because basically Jay and I are just gonna talk about like how we met, how great Flesh and Blood is at bringing people together, and we may bring up some cards and talk about Runeblade stuff. But honestly, I just wanted to have a chat with a friend, and that's what FaBFaM's all about: friends and memories. So yeah, we're just gonna roll. We have no script. We're just gonna record until we have nothing left to say, or probably until one of us says, "Yeah, I'm leaving."
You left after what did I mention? Oh, that I didn't know StarCraft.
Yeah, I'm like, I have returned, and I'm like, what's that from? And he's like, I don't know. He's like, I played StarCraft once. I'm like, I'm hanging up on you. So I literally hung up on him.
StarCraft, though. The fact that I knew that.
Yeah, you did know it was StarCraft. I don't know why your audio did the audio thing again, but I guess they're just going to have to know that your audio stinks.
Sorry.
But anyway, so let's talk about like how we met, and then like how we actually got to meet, because that was pretty cool. So I'll talk about how we met, and then you can talk about how we met. But so in the league, in the League That Means Nothing, just like my explanation, in the League That Means Nothing, there was a match that was casted, and I don't even remember who I was playing against, but it was season 1, and Jay and why am I blanking on his name all of a sudden? Nope, don't tell me. I just gotta know this. Bill, Jay and Bill from the Spike Feeders were casting my match, and it was so flawlessly casted. Not because like it was just very exciting for me and I was doing Runeblade things, but like genuinely they did an incredible job. And so it was funny. Like we like reached out and started talking to each other because of their casting, and yeah, he was just a really cool guy, and we just connected instantly just from, you know, one match being casted on Az's channel. So that was super cool. Then we got to actually meet. Tell them about that.
That's true.
Tell them about.
Well, I gotta say before we move
on. Okay, sorry.
Well, no, before we move on, I'm just saying, like, before we move on to the whole like how we actually met, I think it was just very genuinely exciting to watch your Viserai deck in action. And like Bill and I were equally surprised because like we didn't really know what your game plan was. Like I'm not that familiar with the Viserai deck. I've probably played one game on Viserai, as much as I call myself a Runeblade lover. So like I think that added to like the fun of the casting. So for your viewers, if you haven't seen, you know, the season 1 of the League That Means Nothing and Hank's games, like you gotta, I don't know what you're doing.
Oh,
but we had so much fun casting that game because we were like, what is actually happening? And like you did that like short edit of us like basically coming to the realization of what your deck actually does. And that was like perfect too. But anyways, okay.
Oh, hold
So
on. I think
then,
what I'm gonna do. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and throw that video right here, and then
Yeah,
I'll just
yeah.
edit around it because that was honestly too good, and people just need to experience like that like. I was so amped. I was like, "Yo, can I please make a short about this?" And I'll just like add it to
Yeah.
tag your video or whatever. But oh my god, it was so good. All right. Anyway, now we're back
So
from the
that
video.
will roll right now. Okay. Oh, he's becoming the Arknight a third time.
Third time, all three become the Arknights. And it is a Rattlebones. We don't have another become the Arknight. We do, never mind. I lied. Because you banish it, and then when you play it again, it goes back to your graveyard. That's what it is. It's the same Arknight Ascendancy.
How is that a thing?
It is the same Arknight Ascendancy for a third time. He has only played one Arknight Ascendancy. Oh, come to fight.
Come to fight.
That's a spicy inclusion.
Wow.
Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, this is coming in for 8.
Dominate.
8 dominate.
Okay, so Hank has a very clear game plan.
Yes.
Play Arknight Ascendancy as much as possible.
As many times as you can.
We've seen this 3 times.
This has been the
10
attack.
and 8 dominate. This is the play. Hank just keeps building up rune chance.
Yeah, he's just been attacking for basically 20 every time he attacks.
Yeah, he'll take a turn off and it's like, yeah, fine.
Just wait until it all lines up and then do exactly what you need to do.
Perfect.
Perfectly
but
imperfect.
then,
I love it.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, Minneapolis. I'm in Canada, and we don't have that much easy access to like big tier 2 events like callings and stuff like that. So when my local community heard about Calling Minneapolis coming, Minneapolis is like a reasonably okay drive for us. So we took that opportunity to drive down. And then I saw old Goblin Reserve here in his pink and green team jersey. And yeah, of course I had to go introduce myself in person. So
yeah, it was so cool because he's like talking to me, and I'm like, his face is so familiar, but I'm just not putting 2 and 2 together. And he's like, I casted your match. I'm like, oh my god, Jay.
Yeah, and then we hung out, like we're in the same hotel, and so like we hung out quite a bit. That weekend, chatted a bit, and had breakfast together and stuff, and held hands, and it was beautiful.
It was beautiful. Yeah, it's just so amazing. Like, and that's why like I enjoy these videos. I can't remember the first one I started, but like it was just like, ooh, what do I overthink everything. Like the channel name, when I changed the channel name, I made sure that it was available on every social media platform. I made sure it wasn't anything weird. Like, so I over-plan everything that I do. And I don't remember where I was going with this because I thought of a side story. Where was I going with this?
Overplan. Now you're not thinking about it.
So the name of the series, I was like, ooh, it's got to have like a cool name, or we're inviting people on. And so I was like, we'll call it FaBFaM. But it's F little a big B, F little a big M, and so it's flesh and blood, friends and memories. And I was like, that's a cool way to have FaBFaM, but like have it also mean something else. Yeah, so I'm a bit ridiculous when it comes to naming things. But yeah, so FaBFaM, friends and memories, and like that was the thing is, it was cool to like have people on and talk about a specific topic or a hot button thing. But like honestly, at the end of the day, Flesh and Blood for me, I love the game, but I love the people so much more. And so like the friends and memories is literally like the best part is these people that you get to meet because of cardboard, and then the memories that you make with them. And it's just like, again, we created this video because we're recording this video because we were sitting down and we're like, hey, we get to play each other this week. And I'm like, dude, it'd be sick. Like, we actually get to... I was more excited to just talk to you than I was about our match. Yeah. Like, I didn't even care about our match. I was like, bro, we get to talk. This is going to be great. And then we were like, why don't we just record a video afterwards? So that's what we're doing.
For sure. Yeah, like, we'll ping each other and, like, little messages here and there. But it's nice to, like, sit down and, like, see your face and catch up a little bit.
Yeah, it's
I agree. Like, it's super cool that it brings people, like, we don't live close to one another.
Not even a little bit.
Have you ever been to Winnipeg? When was the last time you were in Winnipeg, Canada?
The last time I was in Canada, I went to the old Niagara Falls, and that was many, many years ago. I was quite a husky boy back then.
And that's not at all close to me. So.
But I was in Canada.
Yeah, like,
I mean, come on.
It's awesome. I'll give you credit where credit is due. But it's awesome that we can both meet in Minnesota of all places. And
so where is Winnipeg? Is that like in the middle somewhere or what?
It's in the smack dab in the middle of the country. Yeah.
And then I'm way down here in the little guy of Florida. I was gonna say a word, but I'm gonna refrain from saying the word.
Yep.
But
the little guy that is.
Yeah, the little guy hanging out there.
Yep.
But yeah, so we just had our match, and you guys are really gonna enjoy that one. I think it was a lot of fun. We got to. I am like on some matches. I'm glad that there's no audio, like the Enigma match that'll go up eventually. But this match, it's like, man, I wish there was audio, because there was like so much crap talking just back and forth between friends. I think it was mainly me doing the crap talking, and you were just like, "What are these hands?"
So many bad hands. I feel like you had some awkward hands too.
Oh yeah, I had some really bad hands. Yeah, all red hands are not great.
You can't give away too much, but
No.
it was a
blast.
It was a good.
Came down to the end. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like I don't know, man. I just really enjoy that a piece of cardboard can bring people together. And I did a video recently with Geeks First. If you guys haven't checked that out, go over to his channel. Really cool guy. I think we talked for like an hour and a half. And there was really no plan for that video either. But in his video, I said something that like I wish it was my video because I want to clip it. But I said basically, what did I say? I said we should really just stop focusing on what takes us apart of each other and just focus on what brings us together. Because like you and I probably don't agree on a lot of things, but if we don't talk about that, then we can just enjoy Flesh and Blood. We can just enjoy being friends outside of any other, opinion that we may have. And I just think that too often people are just so like worried about their opinion mattering. And it's like, who cares? Like, you're playing Flesh and Blood. Yeah. Like, just focus on Flesh and Blood. Focus on, a good person being a good person. And if you don't agree on a hot button topic, just don't talk about it. Like, it's so easy to just, it's just so easy to just be friends with people and just keep your mouth shut.
Absolutely. And it's like, I know a lot of our local community also, I think we look to the game as sort of an escape from like work, where you don't need to like a lot of people just won't even talk about work. Like after a while you get to know somebody and you learn what they do and all that kind of stuff. But it doesn't matter at the end of the day. What brings us together is the love for that game and the common language of playing great games. That's what it was all about, right?
Absolutely.
And like, so it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter, like, I don't want to say your struggles don't matter, but at the same time, like, it's a way for you to escape the things that might be bothering you, the things you're struggling with at work or in life, or so like it's an awesome sort of outlet for that reason as well.
Yeah, I just the world would just be so much better if we would just focus on what brings us together rather than what drives us apart. So, but so explain to me why you love Runeblades, but you picked the worst one. I'm very confused.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that hurt. No, okay, so Chain was my first love. I will admit, and you can hate me for that, it's fine. I had so much fun. So honestly, it was completely random. I bought my first... So Flesh and Blood hit the Canadian market a little bit after the US. It hit the Canadian market when Monarch was released, and they released both Crew and Monarch, I believe.
Oh, interesting.
In Canada. And so I was interested in the game, and I was like collecting. I was into Magic. Don't judge me. I was playing Magic for a while, and I started losing interest because Hasbro is just a nightmare, and they're just like money grab products every other day.
No.
So like started to lose interest, and the sets were like not really speaking to me. So like I was like, oh, this new thing, Flesh and Blood, seems cool. So I actually just picked up some sealed product to sit on. So I still have. It's actually right here. Nope, this is the unlimited one. I have my first edition Crucible of War box that I got for like $140 at the time.
Nice, dude.
Because it was like just released on the Canadian market or whatever.
Yeah.
So I got one box of that, and I think I got like a case of Monarch or something. I don't know. But then Tales of Aria rolled around, and it was like tail end of COVID, like looking to get back into game and like Magic wasn't really firing. I was into Standard at the time. Again, don't judge me. So got into Tales of Aria, and the buy a box promo that I got with Monarch was Chain. So it just like happened to be I had the shiny Chain card. So I was like, well, what's this guy all about? It's like put the deck together and like fell pretty deep into like Runeblade and Creepers and like how shenanigan-y it was. And at the time, like Prism was the big bad and Chain was the big bad. And then Starvo came around and ruined everything for everybody. So that was like my intro to Runeblade. And then like Briar came along. And I don't know what it is about Vynnset, but I think it was because of the like lore tie to Chain and like the banishing and playing from banish. I think that mechanic is really attractive to me. So I was just kind of like all in on Vynnset when they released her, and I've just been, my buddy keeps making fun of me because he's like, you're just in the trenches, you're in the mud, you're like trudging through trying to make this deck work. And I don't care. Like I love, like we both talked a little bit about how I'm not super competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like to win once in a while. But I came to the conclusion that I would much rather have fun playing a deck that I love and not do great than just like sweep something going 4-0. Or like I could easily fall on my face on a like top tier meta deck as well. So like the feel bad of losing on a deck that you're not really enjoying playing is so much worse than not having a great day on the deck you love.
Yeah. So I've said this in a few videos before, but you probably haven't heard it, so I'll tell you. But my journey through Flesh and Blood was actually like the first deck that I built in paper and played CC in was actually at the Realm 10K. Is that what it was called?
Star
20K. Was just a Rhinar, and I mean, the point of that was like, I started opening Flesh and Blood back when Monarch was out, and I didn't build a deck and play CC in paper until that Realm 20K or whatever it was, which was I think last year. So you know, I've been doing videos for YouTube for 3 years on Flesh and Blood, and the first time I ever built a deck in paper was that. And the only reason I didn't do Viserai is because I played a lot of Viserai, but I was nervous about missing triggers because I had played so much on Talishar. So I was so nervous about missing triggers, I didn't want that to be my first experience. And so I brought Rhinar thinking like, oh, this is easy. But then I realized like when your opponent doesn't care what you're doing, the game is actually much harder. And you actually have to think a lot more rather than being vice versa. And like, I'm like, oh, this is going to be an easy deck. Like, I don't have to think. But no, like when your opponent doesn't care what you're doing, it actually falls on you. And but so my love for Viserai actually came when I first got into the game, because he was the most pink hero. I happen to have an obsession with pink and green, and he has, you know, a bunch of hues of pink, and I was like, oh man, that's a really cool hero. I want to play that. But it wasn't until I think it probably was just before Dusk Till Dawn was the first time I actually played. Okay, it was when Zach Bunn took the cash-in to top 4. The cash-in Viserai, Royal Vis, was when he took that to top 4. That is when I first played Viserai ever. And I started playing him on Talishar. I didn't play Zach Bunn's list well. I didn't know what I was doing. So I got Anna Runebabe. I got her, Anna Border, I think she is on Twitter. I got her list, and it was more, I don't know, I was just like, because I didn't understand swing 7 and sword, like I didn't understand that that's what you're supposed to be doing. And so like I was winning a lot more matches with hers. And then I got in touch with Adam Cook, who's Cook Sensei, Chance and Daggers. And he actually taught me how to play Viserai the correct way. And I was like, oh my gosh, this makes so much more sense. I'm supposed to, you know, I'm supposed to have a blue and attack and then swing sword. Like, wow, that's not what I was doing at all. No wonder I wasn't winning matches. And then I got one game where Dusk Till Dawn had come out, and I took like 20 damage to swing back a bunch of damage, and then they played Warmongers at the end of it, and I stopped playing the deck altogether. And then
It's honestly,
so then I reached out to Adam like months later, and I was like, listen, bro, I want to play Viserai, but I'm not going to play. Is there another version I can play? And he's like, actually, I've been working on this thing called Turd Burst. And I was like, let's do it. I built it in paper. I've played 2 RTNs, a Pro Quest, 2 Leagues of the League that means nothing, a few armories. Like, I have been repping the crap out of that Viserai. And it's not because I, like, love Runeblade. It's honestly just, like, I loved the hero. My wife bought me a German Marvel, and I was like, I have to build this in paper. And so, like, that's the reason I have so many reps into it. And, like, honestly, I don't know that I love Runeblade. Like, having to do non-attack attack in a world where Warmongers exist, like, it sucks.
right.
We have to jump through so many hoops to do powerful things.
Yeah. I think 2 things came to mind. I really resonate with the whole aesthetic thing. Like, the fact that you chose Viserai just because he's pink. Like, I think there's something to be said there. And I'll say something potentially controversial. Newest set, Rosetta, which we might talk about. 2 new Runeblades. Florian, all in. Love that hero. Love the aesthetic. So cool. Neat, like, decomposed, sort of, like, cool, like, edgy, like, graveyard shenanigans. Aurora, I will never play. Wow. Not because the play style is uninteresting. Like, I think she can do really powerful things. But, like, yeah, I don't really like the vibe of the card. I don't really like resonate with the style of it. And so I have nothing against the playstyle, but I think, like, and to each their own, right? Like, a bunch of people are going to love Aurora. All the power to you. But it's like, I don't know. Yeah, aesthetic plays a particular role, at least for me, and sounds like for you as well.
It's funny you say that, because that is the reason I will not play Vynnset. I think Vynnset is a super cool hero. I really like the disruption she has. I think she is a really cool hero, but I don't care for the art at all. I'm not into that gothy art. I don't care for it. So it's funny, like, the reason you love her is probably the reason I hate her, you know what I mean? And so, like, I'm sure that if I played the deck, I would probably enjoy it, but when you're staring at your hero the entire game, like, I want to enjoy what I'm looking at. So it's funny. It's funny, like, how I really don't know what play style I enjoy the most. I was just like, I got a marvel of this hero that I love, that I've always loved. You know, I've got all kinds of Viserai stuff. And I was just like, I'm just going to play this hero. And he just doesn't happen to be good right now. He may be getting better. I mean, I do have 1 loss in a league that means nothing, if that means anything, which clearly it doesn't. But, you know, so it's just a lot of fun, you know, to play a hero that you love, like you said. You know, if I was, you know, if, like, say Vynnset was Starvo right now, and she was just destroying everyone, like, I don't care. I don't enjoy the way that hero looks, and so, like, I haven't 100%. Been able to get myself to play it. But, like,
never be that meta, like, chasing the meta or whatever. It's just not me.
Aurora, though, like, dude, I love Aurora. I love the art on Aurora. I think it's sick. Mainly because one of my favorite cards in the set is Gone in a Flash, and, like,
it's very good.
I love the art on that card so much, and so, like, her, like, that aesthetic really matches, like, Arc Lightning, and I don't know. I really I probably won't play the hero, but, like, I do enjoy it. Gone in a Flash is my favorite art by far. I don't know why. I just really love it in the set. It's fun and
to
flowy.
Yuck anybody's thumb.
Yeah,
like, I'm totally into it. Just not my vibe, right?
Yep.
But the other thing that you said that I wanted to bring up before we move on is you tried all these different versions of Viserai, and it took you a while to find your version. And I think that's a really important point, is that, like, and this is true for Vynnset too, like, people, because I've been, like, trying to, you know, people are like, you're like trying to solve Vynnset, but, like, the deck that I develop isn't necessarily going to be the deck that's going to work for everybody, right? Like, it's the deck that works for me in terms of, like, the lines that I prefer, or, like, and I'm not, like, a pro. I play to a decent like, I have lots of reps on Vynnset, so I feel like I know the deck quite well. But also, like, I recently discovered the red line build, and I think it's actually quite strong. And maybe that's the better build for people who prefer, you know what, I'm just not gonna, like, worry about blocking, or, like, worried about building up those rune chance, like, sending something. I just want to be able to, like, push as much damage as possible. So yeah, I think, like, the right choice is often more to do about, like, your playstyle and the lines that you favor or like see, rather than like the optimal meta deck that like won the Pro Tour or whatever.
And that's like you saying that just really reminds me of that Ana deck, because the Ana deck, played what's the tome? The tome where you flip the top 3 cards. Isn't that a tome?
Yeah. The Arknight, isn't it?
Yeah. And so she really liked that card because she loves her Viserai was called Casino Vis, and so it was, you get to do big explosive things, and sometimes it doesn't work, but when it does, it feels really cool to do it. And so that's the way she likes to play. She loves to play Casino Vis, where there's high variance and high reward. She really enjoys that. And I had a lot more success with that than I did with the Zach Bunless, because the Zach Bunless was built to do a specific thing over and over and over again, and I didn't understand that. I was too stupid. I didn't understand that I needed to sequence my cards a certain way. And that's what I really love and hate about Turtle Burst Viserai, is that I'm not really playing the game right. I'm just I have a thing that I want to do. I'm not thinking about value at all. I'm just thinking of, okay, am I OTKing this match? Then I'm not blocking with any of my rune chant generators, unless I have to. And so it's kind of good and bad, because it's I've gotten really good at Turtle Burst Viserai. I honestly, I'm really proud of how I've performed in this season of the League That Means Nothing, because I've really just played some super tight games, and it's because of reps. And so it's cool to see, they talked about specialists all the time, and I was like, yeah, whatever. But then to be able to sit there with a hero like Viserai and do the things and have the success, whereas if I was to touch any other hero, I'd feel like a complete moron. It's really cool to get that reward of the more time you invest, that the better the reward you see. So it's really neat. But the thing for me is I really don't know how I want to play Flesh and Blood, and I have so little time to actually play Flesh and Blood that it's well, I've got all this time invested in Viserai, I'm just going to play Viserai until I can't anymore, or until I have time to build another deck and get good at it. But for me, when it comes to playing the game, I don't like playing a deck that feels helpless. I don't ever want to play a deck that I feel like there's nothing I can do, and me playing the game is meaningless. And I'm just really scarred from Warmongers. I think I would enjoy aggro Viserai, but I'm just so scarred from Warmongers, and the fact that we now have 2 more Runeblades that people are going to be thinking about. I told Adam this in our video about Viserai. I told him, I said, I think that Viserai got better, but I want to play him even less, because now that there's 2 more Runeblades, until they are proven to be garbage, I guarantee you every single deck is going to have 3 of blue block 3 named Warmongers, and it just completely shuts you down. And I'm even though Viserai got better, I feel like he got worse, because there's more eyes on Runeblade, which means 3 of Warmongers. And Turtle Burst doesn't really care about that too much most of the time, but it's devastating when you take 20 damage to swing back 30, and then they Warmongers you, and you're get a rune chant pass. I don't know. It's just, I'm scarred.
It's those cards that take away your agency over the game or whatever. So yeah, I totally understand. There are definitely some frustrating cards like that kind of just are so powerful that they can kind of turn the game and swing the momentum in the other direction just from that one thing.
Yeah, it's crazy, because it's basically they're attacking, and then they're prevent 20. What?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
I know.
Because Viserai skill, I'm not very good at the original Viserai, but Viserai, as I understand it, the more cards you have, the more powerful you are. You know what I mean? And so, I mean, even in Turtle Burst, if I want to present a ton of damage, I need a full hand, because I want to play Slogism, which requires a blue, and then I need to have Ascendancy. And, so if I get any disruption, in our match, you disrupted me a few times where I'm I just want to kill you.
That said, I should mention, I didn't know you ran Slogism in that list. I don't know that came up in the game that I casted with Bill. And so I was really surprised to see it, and I was oh, okay, this is gonna hurt. Not to give away too much from our match, but
Yeah.
May have swung a Slogism at me.
Yeah, Slogism's pretty good. Slogism's pretty good, but it's really not. It's really not. Like he was running 3 of them. I've cut down to 2, I think. I don't ever want to.
It's good when you're Slogisming that one card that you want to Slogism though.
Yeah, I mean it's great, but like I just felt like having 3 of them was just too much inconsistent. And now that we have Condemned to Slaughter, my God. Condemned to Slaughter. Let's go ahead and we'll pop over. We'll talk about some cards, just because we're doing it. But like Condemned to Slaughter, I just had a matchup against Enigma in which I felt like they say that Enigma is more interactable than Dromai and Prism, and I think they're full of crap. I think that Dromai and Prism, you can choose what you want to remove. Enigma, if they don't want you to remove something, they're just going to keep it forever. And so I think like maybe it's just because of the deck I'm playing, but I just feel like she is way less interactable than the other 2 heroes when they said that she's more interactable. But maybe you've had a different experience on that.
Well, it's just because Vynnset's unique, like uniquely positioned to disrupt. Yeah, exactly. Like, it doesn't matter what they want. If they have ward out on the board and I find a Shadow non-attack, the ward is going away. Yeah.
But so
what you can do it with one card. Like with Funeral Moon alone, I did it with you once. Like you literally hold one card, Funeral Moon, banish that card, swing Flail in response, Funeral Moon, make the 1 rune chant unpreventable, it pops everything.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So like one card can clear their ward.
Yeah, that's gross. But so I was thinking about, after having like absolutely no agency into that Enigma match, I honestly, and I don't think I will, but in the top 8, we're allowed to add cards from Rosetta. And like, I am honestly like, I'm so torn, like not torn, what's the word? Scarred from that matchup. I talked to you about it and I was like, I'm contemplating running 9 of these. I'm just contemplating running 9 of these Condemned to Slaughters, because Condemned to Slaughter, in Turtle Burst, I am currently running 3 Come to Fight. This immediately replaces Come to Fight because it's a 1 for 3, like, and it's a Runeblade, so it's half of a Rune Chant, which is better already. So right there, you got half of a Rune Chant, and it does the exact same thing for the exact same cost with the exact same block. But then, there is this beautiful, beautiful wording that says, you may destroy an aura you control. If you do, each opponent destroys a permanent or a permanent they control. So, like, yes, they can flash things out, but guess what? Like, you're destroying something. And, like, this just makes me feel really good. It makes me feel like maybe, because the biggest problem with Enigma is when they get Mirror Guy out, and you just can't get enough damage in. You don't understand that because you can do unpreventable damage, but the rest of us, like, we can't, if they have enough to stop. I mean, I'm throwing dominated attacks, and they're just like, yeah, I'll just flash in this, take no damage, swing 8 off of a tunic. Like, and so I'm really, really contemplating this beautiful Condemned to Slaughter card. It was already going into the deck, 100%, the 3 reds to replace Come to Fight. But yeah, I'm really thinking that may give me a few points back in that matchup to really just try and claw my way back in. Is this something that you're interested in playing in Vynnset at all? Do you care about buffs in your deck? No, you don't care about this card at all.
Not this card. There are 2 buffs that we play or that we're pretty happy to play. The first one's Beseech the Demagon, just a 0 cost +3, which kind of does the same. And it's great into Enigma because it's a Shadow non-attack. So it does exactly what you're describing. Yeah. It allows me to interact with their auras, but in a different way, like through
your hero
Vynnset's hero.
Yeah.
Envelop in Darkness is the other one. +3, make a Rune Chant for 1 cost, which is also Shadow non-attack. So for that reason, like, we already have kind of like 2 pieces that do this. I don't want to say better, but like better for Vynnset.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it wouldn't. They're shadows, so you can't play them in any other deck. But so while we're on this topic, though, like, lower rarity stuff that I'm excited about are the auras. So Dirge,
God, Deadwood Dirge is so good.
Let me just say one thing. Deadwood Dirge allows you to play any 3-cost Runegate card with a 2-card hand. So you hold whatever Runegate card you have in your hand and Deadwood Dirge. You banish that Runegate card. You turn your 1 rune chant that you made from Vynnset's ability into 3 with Deadwood Dirge, and then you just send it out. So it's a 2-card 9, with Deathly Wail. And it's a 2-card 10 if you're playing that 3 for 7 Phantom Banshee or whatever.
Yeah, so the reason I like
ahead.
this card in Turtle Burst is because it allows me to destroy things like an incantation that's empty, card that came up big in our matchup, Runeblade Barrier. People are always like, oh man, Runeblade Barrier is so good, you get to prevent all this damage. I don't want to prevent the damage, I just want the 4 rune chants. Like, I don't want to prevent
playing Barrier on that. That's actually sick.
Yeah, so you can you play Barrier and then destroy that crap. because you can Sonata, get Barrier, and then just play this to instantly destroy it, and boom, that's seven rune chants. Like that feels fantastic. And I don't know if you know anything about this, but playing Sonata into Barrier feels really good. So playing Sonata into Barrier and then destroying Barrier feels really good too. I mean, ultimately, just creating 2 rune chants go again at a minimum. Destroying 1 chant to create 3. So netting 2 and go again is still pretty good. I'm gonna have to hope that Adam's been cooking us up something, so I can actually know if we should be playing this card or not. It seems pretty good. And
Vynnset, it goes a long way to smoothing out our hands too, because sometimes it can be hard to just reach that critical mass rune chant. So it's one I'm pretty excited about for sure.
And then the other one you've got to be excited about. Let me see. Let me scroll and find it. It's got to be. Was it that one and I'm just dumb? No, it's this one.
No,
right?
the other aura is Malefic Incantation.
Yeah. That's the one I was pulling up.
Yeah, so those are the 2 I think no-brainer inclusions for those auras and just to smooth out our rune chant generation. And that one's I don't know if it might actually replace Runeblood Incantation. I don't know that that's the fact. I think some lists are going to want to run both. For me, the 0 cost just goes such a long way. The 1 cost on Runeblood Incantation, I guess what I have to test and what I need to figure out is it more valuable to have a rune chant generated on attack, or is it more valuable to start your turn off with a free rune chant?
Yeah, do you want the rune chants at the end of your turn or at the beginning, basically? Yeah.
And if you're running a red line list, I think it's a no-brainer. You just run this. Because the 1 cost, you could tunic it in, but then it can be quite awkward. You don't want to give up a card just to bring in Runeblood Incantation, whereas this you can just play for free. So
this
one I'm pretty high on too.
Yeah, this card I have absolutely 0 interest in playing in my version of Viserai. I've seen it in the aggro Viserai. In aggro Viserai, it makes a whole lot of sense because creating a rune chant is pretty great in Viserai, where you just want to swing a bunch of attacks for free. Other than that, this card I have 0 interest in this. But Adam and I talked about the commons and rares a lot. But what I want to talk about is some of these cards.
I feel like I know where you're going.
I'm gonna go up here, and I wish this was the full art, but it's not. Face Purgatory. Is this a card? Is this a card that you're gonna be playing in Vynnset? How do you feel about it? Tell me all about it.
I think it is. I've kind of cooled down on the card. I was pretty high on it when it first came out. I'm like, oh my god, this is the best. It replaces all of our headpieces. I don't think that's the case, but the ceiling on this card is insanely high. Vynnset often has extra attacks. Our game together, I drew into a couple hands where I just had honestly, I want 1 rune gate attack and then maybe a go again enabler. So if I draw into 2 or 3 rune gate attacks, I can't utilize them. So I'm happy to give one of them up. I was going to block with it anyways. So in my head, the ceiling of this card is I block with that. I block with my extra rune gate attack that I don't need. And then it's basically I'm filtering just like Crown of Providence does. Yeah. So I give you my non-attack, which I'm going to replace. So I'm filtering it. But I still get the block value on it, which is awesome. and then I get to disrupt your hand. So there just seems to be so much upside when the stars align.
Yeah,
and when I have the extra, when I have the extra attack, when I'm willing to filter my non-attack, when you're coming in with a big enough attack that it's worth throwing like 7 in front of it. So I think very strong in terms of like ceiling, but like maybe a little too situational.
Yeah, I in Turtle Burst I don't run the split. You know, I have way less attacks. So like I really don't know that this is really for the stars kind of have to align to make this good, I think, in Turtle Burst. But in Agravis I could see this definitely being an option because, you know, you're blocking, but then you're getting, you know, that extra card as well. So I definitely think this is probably more of an Agravis card, and it's probably even a sideboard card at that. I don't know the power of it in Viserai, unfortunately. But the full art is incredible, and that's all I care about.
Yeah, I mean, and don't get me wrong, like I think it will make the list. I just don't think, like, originally I was like, this is the default, and now I think it's like this is very good into like Azalea or into like other go-to heroes where you want to disrupt the hand, or like if you're sitting on a pummel, and I have a hunch that you're sitting on a pummel, I'll give up any non-attack action. I don't care if it hurts me or not. So I think when it lines up, very, very good. But it's not something I'm going to be playing into like a ninja or like a go wide aggro thing. So I'm excited about it. I need a copy.
Yeah, I cannot wait to get the full art version of this. This card is so friggin' cool, man. But you were talking about something and I'm interested to know why this card wasn't high on your list. And again, I don't know how to evaluate cards. So if this card is just garbage, you can tell me. But I would think that Machinations of Dominion would be high on your list, because you were talking about wanting some go again enablers and you know, having overpower. I mean, a lot of the times you're triggering, which is so dumb to me, that you get to trigger your attack actions just because you take rune chant damage. That's pretty dumb. But having overpower to make it even more likely that you're going to strip a card from arsenal or strip a card from hand or off the top of the deck, and being a go again enabler, that just seems like that'd be something you'd be wanting to do.
It's in the list. It's definitely, it replaced Blue Mauvrian Skies for me.
Okay.
Because it does the same thing as Mauve Skies. It gives your next thing go again. I think there's more upside to this card. Like the thing that this doesn't do that Mauve Skies does is obviously makes you a rune chant on hit. But Blue Mauve Skies is 1 rune chant, so it's like meh. Yeah. Like if I'm gonna run Mauve Skies, obviously I'm gonna start with the reds. Then I might include a few yellows in Vynnset, because make 2 rune chants on hit is more likely to open up your rune gates, because we only have like one cost rune gate card, right? Eulogy. The other ones are coming in they cost 2, right? So this is also a blue that blocks 3, which we very much lack in Runeblade. Yeah. So like the block value is amazing. The overpower, you're right about. It's not insignificant. Like it could close out a game at best. It could force an on hurt, like you said. Like they choose to block out all my rune chants, no problem. Like I'm coming in with an overpowered attack. Like I'm not that worried about it. So no, I totally think this is great, and it's definitely like in a mid-range build. I don't know if it makes redline, obviously, but in a mid-range Vynnset build, I think it's a no-brainer. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if people are playing this in Viserai. Obviously, it doesn't make any sense in Turtle Burst because I really don't care about going again, and my big attack has dominate. You know, putting slapping this on a 9th blade would probably feel pretty good. I don't know. I mean, maybe as a blue block 3, like it finds a home, but I'm probably preferring to play Condemned to Slaughter. Like I don't really care about the +1. It's just like being able to wipe out some auras on the other side of the board is pretty cool. Let's see, what other cards haven't I talked about? Oh god. Let's talk about this one first because I like the art. This one, so I've seen Snuff Out. I've seen a lot of talk about it being used against, like Illusionist, but like it's when this hits a hero, you may destroy an aura you control. If you do, they discard a card. Oh, never mind. This is not the card I was thinking of. I was thinking of the card. What I was thinking of. This one.
The yellow Majestic.
Yeah, probably. I was probably thinking of Succumb. Oh no, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking of. Anyway,
I've heard really good things about for Viserai. I'm. This is one that I'm not that excited about for Vynnset, but I think this might be worth. I don't know. I'm not a Viserai player.
Yeah. When this hits a hero, you may destroy an aura you control. If you do, they discard a card. That's pretty ridiculous.
You're trading one of your rune chants for a card from their hand. Like, it's pretty damn good.
Snuffel's pretty ridiculous. Wow, that's pretty cool. I wonder what card I was thinking of. I love that I just went on a tangent for no reason, and it's like has absolutely nothing to do with this card. But yeah, you're so interested in running your RuneGate stuff that you really don't care about a card that just ends up in your banish that you can't play. But that is a cool effect, and yeah, you're probably playing that in aggro Viserai, I would assume. I don't see why you wouldn't. 1 for 5. It's a breakpoint, and you get to just, you know, in aggro Vis, you're normally trying to stack your rune chants on the back so you can swing sword. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting card there. So I guess now we'll talk about the yellow one. The yellow one's pretty ridiculous, huh? Succumb to Temptation. Why isn't this a full art, by the way? God, it's so good, so good.
This card is like borderline not okay. Like, I really think, and I'm not complaining. Like, trust me. But like, if there's, this might be, like we were talking about Warmongers. This might be like, and this is like class locked. But this might be annoying to that degree, to the people sitting across the table from.
Right.
I really. And let me explain like why it's even better in Vynnset is. It reads, if you've dealt arcane damage this turn, you may play this as though it were an instant, and it has the word go again at the bottom of it. So with Vynnset, when you play a shadow non-attack action, the only thing that would push this over the top is if it was a shadow non-attack action, but it's just a non-attack action, that's fine. But you play a shadow I don't want to get too greedy. You play a shadow non-attack action before this. Push through unpreventable arcane. So you like basically guarantee this like is on. Then you just wait and see what your opponent's going to do because it's an instant. So you just wait till they say no blocks and then you instant this in. It restores your action point and it strips a card from their hand. It's actually not okay. Like it's so freaking good, man. I don't understand.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like I wonder if I should replace Pummel with this. Like it doesn't give the +4, but like it has the same kind of effect, and it blocks 3, and I can pitch with it. I don't know. I think the buff is more important. But... What's that?
Sure. Like I agree with you. Pummel has merit, but it's less face up than Pummel, and I think there's something to be said about that. Like if you're floating 2 resources, and I'm looking across the table at you smirking with a card in hand. I'm gonna like maybe think twice about how I'm blocking. Whereas this is like
so
pretty hard to play around.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a very good card. And the fact that it blocks for 3 and yellow's not like I don't even care what color the strip is at the top. But like you can pitch for 2 is great.
You know what else I love about this card is playing it on Vexing Malice.
Sure.
Because Vexing Mouse is like guaranteed.
We'll just turn it on or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, like they're guaranteed to get damage because most people are only running AB1 into you, so you're guaranteed the damage, and then they're like, it's 1 attack, I don't care, and then you're like, discard a card.
Actually, that's amazing. I never thought about how it interacts with Vexing. Vexing does everything you kind of want it to do.
Yeah,
because they're gonna ignore that. You're absolutely right. They're gonna ignore that block. And the fact that it's 2 arcane kind of almost guarantees that the arcane's gonna hit.
Almost, yeah. There's a few people that have been scarred by it. That like, no, I'm running AB2 against you. I'm not dying to Looming Doom. But yeah,
and you're already winning.
Yeah.
Because if they're eating up a whole sideboard slot for 1 extra arcane that they're never gonna barely use,
yeah,
they're winning. So
yeah,
this is
so
a huge
cool.
win for Runeblade kind, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the art is just so ridiculous, dude. It reminds me of a combination of Blood Red Wine from Heavy Hitters and Blood Drop Brocade from, what was that, Arcane?
Yeah, good call.
Yeah, it reminds me of both of those, like, very much. And it's just like, man, of all the cards, like, they did 10 foot tall as an extended art. Why? They could have done this.
Yeah.
There needs to be a treatment somewhere. Yeah,
I know.
There needs to be a treatment somewhere. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I think I just gave myself a cramp. I got so excited. Ow. I did, like double hammy cramp there because I got so excited zooming my face in to look at this beautiful card. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. There's another card. Though, by the way, while you were talking, I did remember the card that I thought I was talking about. I wasn't thinking of Snuff Out. I was thinking of Cut Through the Facade. And
Cut Through the Facade? I don't even know if I know that.
Yeah, Cut Through the Facade is a 3/7. 3/7, and if it hits, destroy an aura, I think.
I literally don't think I've ever laid eyes on this card. A 3/7, so it's great into Illusionist. Can't be defended by auras. When it hits a hero, you may destroy an aura. So this reminds me of like a generic version of like Runic, right?
Yeah.
Runic Reclamation?
Yeah. Because that one is when on hit you destroy an aura, right?
Yeah, but arguably this is better because it can't be defended by auras.
Well, see, the thing is it can't be defended, but Enigma can still prevent, correct? Because you're not defending, you're preventing damage. So against Enigma, it does nothing. Against Enigma, it's like, cool, I'm just going to prevent your damage.
Yeah, so it's more of a tech piece for like Phantasm.
Yeah, Phantasm. Yeah. But anyway, so this is a card that I'm having a tough time with. I want it to be good because the art is like, oh my god, is that a head just sitting on a violin? No, Haunting Rendition.
Oh,
it's just, is that a head?
I gotta say, the art on Cut Through is amazing too.
What's that? Oh, the Cut Through Facade, yeah. It's super cool.
Sick.
Yeah, there's a, I wonder, is that, hold on a second, I might have it right here, hold on. Is it right here?
My god, I actually have not zoomed in on the Haunting Rendition art. It is a head on a violin, and it's brutal and amazing.
I swear it was here. Alright, never mind. I thought it was right here, but apparently it's not, so I just got up and interrupted this video for exactly no reason at all. Man,
what are you taking?
Right, it is a Majestic. Oh well, I have a foil version of it, and the foil version looks super sick as well, but now people just got to look at my butt for free. Should have paywalled this video. Gosh dang it.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, Cut Through Facade, the foil looks really cool. Anyway, so Haunting Rendition. Is that head is literally sitting on top of the violin, yes?
It is. I have not looked at the art closely on this, and you're right.
I just did.
Brutal.
It's so crazy. Yeah. And then like it's a bunch of Viserais. Like have we seen Runeblades look like Viserai like these ones do?
Not with the heavy armor Arc Knight sort of vibe. I don't think so.
Very interesting. Wow, what a cool art. So anyway, I'm having good.
Well, just the Swarming Gloomveil, not really, but she has like some pretty heavy armor, but not like this.
Yeah, this is very Vis armor. It's very interesting. And they've got like arrows through their heads, but they're still walking. Like what? So they must be dead, and she's raised them all, I think.
Maybe.
Isn't that because
100% confirmed.
This is another flippin'. Whatchamacallit? What is that class called? Necromancer. This is another Necromancer card, and I didn't even realize it. Like, she has killed them all, and the violin is bringing them back to life and making them do her bidding.
But also, it looks like her head. So why, like, has she severed her own head? I'm confused as to how
Yeah, because it's... oh my gosh, because if you look, the crown is half and half. Like, the crown is... Right. It looks like the crown is, like, one, and, like, she is split in two.
Because also her violin kind of looks like a blade at the end.
It does,
so
it
is
looks
she
like
cutting
an axe.
off her own second head?
Oh, that's so weird. I don't know, this art gets more and more interesting the more you stare at it. That's so cool.
So we're just talking about the art. We haven't even talked about what the card
No,
does.
who cares
yet.
what the card does? Look at that art. But like a quick aside before we talk about this card, just I say this in a lot of different videos, but it just goes to show you, like, guys, look at the commons. Just go to your pile of commons and look at them and appreciate. There's so many amazing artists that get no recognition because their card's a common. Like, you look at the card 100 different times, but you never really appreciate the art. Like, it took me a while to realize that Oasis Respite, there are people in the back of the card, like, in water. Like, but when you're like, yeah, it's a mountain thing. Like, who cares? Like, you play the card, but you know, there's so many amazing arts that just like, oh, it's a common, I see it all the time, and you forget, like, an artist put their life into that card, and like, so just take some time to appreciate some commons. You know, it's just your daily reminder to appreciate some commons. This isn't a common, but even this, like, I glanced over it and I never realized like how ridiculous this art is. I hate that it's a block card.
Shout out Iswardi.
Yeah,
Iswardi.
Nice. Oh, Iswardi did this one. Wow, I didn't even realize that. Iswardi is ridiculous, dude.
There are a lot of amazing Flesh and Blood artists.
Wow. Yeah. So why? I hate that this is a block card. I think it being a block card makes me not want to play it at all.
But it has the number 4 in the bottom right corner.
The number 4 is really cool, and when I first saw this card, I thought it was a defense reaction, and I was like, oh my god, this is amazing, I can't wait to play this. And then I saw it was a block card, and it's like, it's a card that always has to be in your hand. So if you end your turn, you have to IP yourself, because if not, you've blocked your arsenal for the rest of the game. Well, I guess no, this gets around that, doesn't it? No, it's because it's discard. I saw the instant, and I was like, oh, maybe, and then I was like, no, you have to discard it. So no, it has to be in your hand, so it's kind of just like, I don't know. Like, is this card gonna see any play? Am I missing something?
I don't know. I haven't really looked at it, like, evaluated it in any real way. I wouldn't be surprised if, like, a better player figures out that it's really good. But
because
I don't.
For me, I'm not even looking at the 4. I'm not looking at the 4 at all. What I'm looking at is instant prevent 2, create a rune chant. That's 3 value. Yeah. 3 value. I'm blocking 2, creating a rune chant. Like, it's like half of a Runeblood or Runeblood. Why can't I think of the word? The reduce rune chant. Yeah.
No.
It's half of a reduce. It's literally reduced. But like that's what I see it as. It's like, it's basically just a 2 block non-attack action that creates a rune chant. Like, that's how I see it. So it's kind of like, eh.
I just can't. I don't know if you want to put it in the list. I feel like you want to be able to take advantage of both the fact that it can block for 4 and also do the weird prevention thing when you need it to. So I don't know. Like, if overpower becomes a problem moving forward in different sets, then maybe it makes sense as like a sideboard piece.
I wasn't even thinking about that into Azalea because you can block with this, right? Or no, it's still from hand.
Not dominate, but overpower. Like, it's not an action card, right? So like, you can block with as many blocks as you want. It's not affected by overpower. So like, I could see down the road this being impactful. I just think that we have like tools that does this better, like reduce to rune chant.
Yeah.
I think I would just rather have a defense reaction that I, like you said, like, don't need to IP my penalty myself with. I can just shove it in an arsenal, and if it's an arsenal, it helps me get around dominate. So I don't see a home for this immediately, but I think it's interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested to know, like, what, I mean, because they don't just create, and this is a Majestic, right? So they don't just create cards. I mean, sure, there are some Majestics that have never seen the light of day, but like, they saw something with this card. So I'm interested to what they saw, why this card was needed. But I mean, I'm sure it's more revolving around the text than it is the block. Because I just don't, like, I don't know. Why do we need to prevent? Like, what is that? What is that about? What does that give us? I'm interested to know.
Yeah, it makes more sense in the context of this set for sure, because like, prevention is so strong in this set. Like, well, I mean, you played several, you know, during the World Premiere event, you played several sealed events, and like, the fact that it's such an arcane heavy set, but it's so difficult to block arcane in this set because we have no AB. Maybe you have to rely on prevention effects or life gain.
Yeah, I think that's something that I forget, is that this is a card that can be pulled, and it's just rarer. So like maybe it was just created to be a rare, you know, blowout defensive piece, like block 4 in limited, or prevent 2 in limited that they didn't see coming. Like, so maybe it is just a limited card that they didn't want you to have full access to. Because I don't know. I'm having a hard time seeing why that would be a good card in Constructed.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see it finding a home down the road, maybe in some Runeblade deck. But I agree with you. I think a limited All-Star for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's see what other cards. I guess we're on to a set of cards completely outside of my wheelhouse. Is going to be anything with some kind of a talent attached to it. So, I mean, we've already talked about all the other Runeblade cards, so we might as well I'll just throw some unintelligible words at this, and maybe you can see if any of these cards are good. But we got Germinate, the Florian specialization, create a rune chant or embodiment of Earth token, repeat this X times, gain X plus 1 health. That's sick.
So
that's so sick.
When they first spoiled Florian, I was like, oh my god, this hero is amazing. I'm all in. But then they gave us so many interesting tools for Vynnset that I was like, screw this guy. I'm still all in on Vynnset because like Succumb, the auras, whatever. That said, I haven't had much opportunity. I've been like distracted being excited about Vynnset. I do want to give Florian a try. And I think this card might be his strongest tool. Like a blue 3 block that if you pitch 2 blues into it, X is 3. And this is not, I got this wrong the first time I read it, but you create a rune chant or embodiment as a base. Then you repeat it X times. So you would create 4 rune chants or
if he's active,
4 embodiments. No, just
I'm saying,
at base.
And then, I'm saying, and then if he's active,
yeah, 8. So 8 rune chants, or like 6 rune chants and 2 embodiments, plus gain life. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's super sick.
It is super sick.
Yeah, because I like when I see a card like this, I'm like, man, I wish I could play this in Viserai, because like this just makes me want to play Turtle Florian, because like
that's it.
Oh my god, this is doing everything that I do in Viserai better.
While we're here, I have to say, and while we're on the top, like you mentioned appreciating art, can we give it up for the friggin' like Earth Runeblade border?
Oh my god, yes. It is so good.
That's the most beautiful border that they have designed so far. I'm going to go out on a
Is MJ still the one doing all of the borders?
I don't know that for a fact. I kind of assumed that.
If she is, dude, she is absolutely insane with the borders. Like, they're just so good.
Imagine that in Cold Foil.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's probably so sick in Cold Foil. Holy crap.
Anyways, I think Germinate's very strong.
Yeah, Germinate's really cool. But then I'm gonna skip over a card, and I'm gonna go to the third card in the list because I have a lot of experience with this card. Arcane Seeds Life. In Limited.
Yeah.
In Limited, this card is so freaking good.
Yeah.
This card won me all of my games. I had exactly one of these in my deck, and it won me every single game. Because you see it, you pitch it, you get it back later, you create 4 freaking rune chants and gain a life. 4 rune chants and you gain a life. It's ridiculous. 4 rune chants, swing and attack. 4 rune chants plus attack. Like, that is ridiculous. It won me every single game. And like, again, everything, because if you play this into Germinate, you're getting that extra rune chant as well, right? Because that's just you're gaining life. I'm thinking of burden stealing damage, but yeah. I mean, that's still like Arcane Seeds is 4 freaking rune chants, 0 for and 4 and a life. Yeah. Why can't Viserai have that? Why can't you have that?
Yeah.
Why has it got to just be this guy? It's ridiculous.
I do get to say, like, reduced to rune chant is sort of a 0 for 5 value, where it blocks for 4 and gives you a rune chant. I think that's the only sort of like, but there's still a condition that has to be met.
Yeah,
which
you have to have a
Viserai
rune chant
very
or
well.
cross you one. Yeah.
Yeah. Vynnset doesn't always end on a rune chant. It's a little more awkward, but yeah, it's hard to argue with this card.
Oh my gosh, this card is awesome. You just never play it unless you have him active. Just pitch it. Like, just pitch it. Like, don't ever play this unless you have him active. And I mean,
why not?
God forbid, like, Florian is Mordred Tide, but can still play Mordred Tide.
Yeah. Do you think Florian will play more? I haven't actually had a chance to look at as excited as I was about Florian. I haven't really looked at any deck lists.
I haven't either. I'm thinking of Turtle Burst in my head, and while we can't swing Ascendancy, because isn't that a Viserai spec?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Ascendancy, we can't swing it, so we don't really have like that big payoff. But like, I'm just thinking of how hard I have to work to create rune chants in Viserai, and this guy just gets to do it for free. Like, it's just like, oh, here's four rune chants, like whatever, 0. Oh, yeah, do you get a life? Like, that's ridiculous. So like, when I think of this, I'm just like, man, OTK just creating a ridiculous amount of rune chants and then killing your opponent, like, yeah, 0 for 4 rune chants is broken. Oh, I'm sorry. Go again.
Yep. Yeah, why not?
I have to wait.
You're happy to play.
I have to wait next turn. I have to pay a resource and wait till next turn to get 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it doesn't have go again. Like, oh, but poor Mr. Florian. Let's just give him it for free. Ridiculous. All right, but then there's a majestic. There's a majestic Thistlebloom life, and these are probably going to be cut off on the overlay. I did this overlay with single cards in mind, so sorry about that. But Thistlebloom life. Let's see. Create X rune chant tokens, where X is the total life you gained this turn. Gain a life.
Right.
So you're creating 1 just by playing it.
How do these cards work? Like, can you?
So you can.
Like, you can play the instant half first, or
so what you do is you play the card, and you choose what sides you're playing.
Okay.
So you choose both sides, and then they are layers. So it resolves right to left. So you gain the life, and then you can respond to that with an instant before Thistlebloom hits. So if you have instant gain lives, then you could stack that, and then by the time Thistlebloom resolves, then you would create even more rune chants. So, I mean, this is I'm sure there's like a high ceiling on this, but like, it seems like gain a life, create a rune chant. Not really that great.
Yeah. It'll come down to how much life gain I think Florian wants to play, which I really don't know at this point.
Yeah. I think you definitely have to have a plan to play that way to make this card useful, but if you are playing that way and you're playing, a bunch of like sigils or whatever, I mean, gaining 4, gain a life, respond with sigil. Actually, it doesn't even matter. You don't have to do that because you can just gain the life because it's this turn. So you don't even have to do anything sneaky where you're sneaking it in because it's life gained this turn. So you can just gain all the life and then play this. But that's interesting. Yeah. I find it funny that I think that Arcane Seeds at rare is a way better card than this majestic. And maybe I'm just crazy, but I don't know, guaranteed 4 rune chants.
No, I think you're absolutely right. It's more consistent. I think it might just be about the ceiling. Like, the ceiling of the majestic is much higher, but it requires a lot more setup, right?
Exactly.
Like, or it requires not necessarily setup, but like
it requires another card, period, to make it valuable.
Yeah. So at least it requires maybe not a build around, but like a particular makeup of a deck, right? Like you want to be
gaining life.
You're only going to want to play it in a deck where there's a significant amount of life gain, yeah. And right now, the only deck we can play it in is Florian.
Yeah.
So
it's very interesting.
Becomes like, I don't know, it plays nicely with Germinate. You gain 4 life.
Yeah.
Make a bunch of rune chains and then gain more life and make even more rune chants. Because it's how many life you've gained this turn, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, but again,
so imagine Germinate.
Yeah, go ahead. Imagine Germinate what?
Well, no, like Germinate into this is like if you gain. Let's say you pitch 2 blues into Germinate. Let's say you have 2 blues, Germinate, Thistle. So you pitch 2 blues into Germinate. You make all of your 8 rune chants, and gain 4 life.
Yep.
Gain another life and make 5 rune chants. Pretty good.
Yeah, but it requires it alone is not a good card. You have to have another card to play with it. Yeah. Like it requires you to have another card. Where this is unconditionally, well, I say unconditionally, but I don't think that there's a world where you ever play this card unless Florian's active. Like I just don't see, unless you're going to die and you really need 1 life. Like I don't see a world where you ever play this unless Florian's active. So this is a 0 for 4, and this is like conditionally could be better, but it requires. I don't know. I just don't understand why this is majestic and the other ones are rare.
I think it's just ceiling. And I agree with you. I think the only time that Arcane Seed's life is a dead card is if you see it before Florian is active. Whereas the other one could be a dead card unless you just have like a perfect hand.
Yeah, because I mean, at a minimum, this card by itself is 3 value. You gain a life, you create 2 rune chants. Like it's still 3 value. This card at its base is 2 value.
Yeah.
So I don't know. All right. Anyway, I'm an idiot. I'm sure people know better than I do. I don't know anything about elemental heroes. But speaking of art that you hate, Arc Lightning is so freaking good. I don't know. I just really love bright, colorful art.
Yeah. No, but this card is actually also a problem. Like, as much as to come as a problem, have you been doing much testing on Talishar?
No, not at all. I've been too busy.
You haven't run into... Okay, so this is the thing. Do you remember a card called Flicker Wisp? Probably not, because nobody ever friggin' played it ever. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, though? It was from ELE. Oh my god, I can't think of the word.
Yeah, Tales of Aria.
Tales. Jeez, oh Pete.
Yeah, but it was like the bulkiest of Majestics.
It looked like
worth
this.
Probably 10. Like a weird. I don't even know what it is. It's like a jumble of leaves. Sure.
Doesn't it? It has like the big legs, right? Like that's all I remember is just legs.
I don't think it has legs. I thought it was like a jump. I'm gonna have to pull it up.
Am I thinking?
But anyways, all it does is it buffs your arcane by 1. Every time you deal arcane damage, it deals 1 more.
Yeah.
So these Aurora decks are playing that Flicker Wisp and this Arcane Lightning.
No, I'm an idiot. I wonder what card I was thinking of. It must be just another generic from the set. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
I don't know, but this combo is a nightmare. So they play Flicker Wisp, they play this. Then, so this reads the whatever, go again. Apologies. I take that back. But whenever you go again this turn, deal 1 arcane damage. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's it. Then Flicker Wisp, every time you deal arcane, it deals 1 more. So you get Flicker Wisp and Arc Lightning down, and then you just proceed to go as wide as possible.
Dealing 2 damage every time.
Is the issue. Break Vexing Quill. This deck is playing Vexing Quill Hand. Break Vexing Quill Hand. It has go again. It doesn't matter what's giving you go again. It has go again. Arc Lightning triggers. Flicker Wisp doubles it. So just by breaking Quill Hand, this deals 2 damage to you. Then, if the rune chants pop, each rune chant deals +1. Each rune chant deals 2 arcane functionally because of Flicker Wisp. Then every other, so they can go like 6 or 7 wide that turn, and every single go again. So they're playing like whatever the boots are there, break Snapdragon Scalers to give something else go again. So then they go like 5 or 6 wide plus equipment. All their equipment has go again. It's just ridiculous. So Arc Lightning plus Flicker Wisp, those 2 cards end up dealing like 12 to 14 damage to you alone. And that's not even considering the attacks that they're swinging at you.
That's so cool. I didn't realize that equipment does that. That's sick.
It's actually ridiculous. Like this card, Arc Lightning. I agree. Like the art is cool.
Whenever
And I pulled
you
it in
go
foil
again.
at my last
Wow.
and it was very cool. Whenever you go again.
Whenever
it
you
deals one
go
arcane.
again. Wow. That's so cool.
This card, arguably, I mean, it's good that they locked it behind a specialization.
Right.
But like Succumb, as much as Succumb is a problem, this card is a problem.
That's so cool. That's a lot of fun.
I'll let you discover this. Like, just wait till you encounter an Aurora that's
a
playing
lot of
this
fun.
and flip it with. It's actually insane.
And okay, and again, let's pause for a second and look at how friggin' cool the Lightning Runeblade looks too. The Lightning Runeblade literally looks like... It's funny because the Lightning Runeblade, to me, almost looks like lava. Like, it looks like yellow lava. It's really cool looking. That is super cool. Wow.
I love the borders.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Let's see.
Yeah, this card is busted.
Vaporize Shock. The Vaporize Shock has
This
some
is where you
incredible art. Let's see. So deal 1 arcane, sure. Destroy an aura permanent with cost X or less, and or up to X aura tokens, where X is the total arcane damage you dealt to opposing hero this turn. Destroy aura permanent with cost X or less. Okay, so this is an interesting one. It's an instant destroy cost where aura tokens, where X is the total damage. So I guess I don't know. I guess it can blow up some stuff. But I mean, is this as good as? Like, is it good?
This is the first time I'm reading it. What comes to mind for me is like this could hurt Vynnset quite a bit if they choose the second like destroy up to X aura tokens.
Oh.
If I'm not worried about their arcane,
gross.
and if they're dealing a bunch of arcane, they could just wipe my like reset me on rune chance, which hurts a lot. Or for you, I mean,
that really.
When you're sitting behind 20 rune chance, it's unlikely they'll be able to wipe them, but they'll probably put a dent in them, right?
Yeah, that sucks. I wasn't even thinking about that. Like that incremental damage over the turn, where they're like, "Yeah, I dealt you 10 damage, destroy 10 rune chance." That is busted.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That said, they have to play this on their go off turn, so I haven't seen this played. And I don't know enough about Aurora to know whether it's like worth playing, but I could see it being bad in certain situations. I just don't know if it's it might be too situational. I don't know.
And interesting, it's you choose, huh? Because it says destroy. It doesn't. Yeah, interesting. So you get to choose what you destroy, which is really cool.
And or up to yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't say there's no like clause about who chooses. So you're destroying up to X tokens. I would assume that you get to choose destroy an aura permanent with cost X or less. I don't know. I wonder because wouldn't it take out like? Wouldn't there be extra words if it was the opponent gets to choose or at random or I don't know.
No, I think they get to choose. Yeah.
You think the person that's getting their stuff destroyed gets to choose?
No. I think the like Aurora gets to choose.
Okay, yeah. That's the way I'm reading it as well. I didn't read any of the notes though, so I'm sure it's in the notes. Let's see, Burn Up Shock. This one I ran into in Limited a little bit. This is pretty interesting. The next time an attack action you control hits a hero this turn, deal 4 arcane damage to them.
Pretty good.
My Runeblade's a wizard now.
Like Boom Grenade, but I guess Boom Grenade's not arcane.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's an interesting... I haven't read this card either, but it's pretty interesting.
And the next time you...
So this is the rare versus Majestic again, right? This is the rare...
Yeah, this is the rare one.
So this is like the same idea as like Arcane Seeds, Thistle Bloom, Burn Up versus Vaporize. The rare versus the Majestic split card, but seems pretty good too.
Yeah, being able to deal 4 damage as a Runeblade is really cool. This could definitely win you games. Like, this could definitely close out a game for you. I mean, they know it's there, but still, that's very interesting. Next time attack control hits, and that's when you throw out some evasion. Could you imagine? Could you imagine burning them up and succumbing them at the same time? It's just like take 4 damage and discard a card.
Mean. Yeah, like
It's well, you're used to it because you play Vynnset, but like on Viserai, bro, it's like Disruption. What's her name? I never heard of her. Like I.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can play Succumb now.
Yeah, I could. I don't think it fits in my deck, unfortunately.
Maybe I don't know. I think you might want to try and find some place for it.
Yeah, I might. Like I said, like the pummel idea is pretty cool, but like I honestly feel like most of the time I'm playing the pummel for the damage, not for the I'm trying to basically with pummel I'm trying to create rune chance. I'm trying to hit it on an ascendancy so I can create rune chance. The discard is a bonus, so I don't think it's strong enough to replace pummel because I really do care about the buff.
Fair enough.
Very interesting. I think that's pretty much like all the Majestics. Oh no, there's one more. There is one more, yeah. Down here. Regrowth Shock. Regrowth Shock. So this one is the shock is the lightning instant. Interesting.
Oh, this is a Briar card. This is only playable in Briar.
Yeah, I was about to say like, wait, what? I don't think I've seen this card yet. I was like, wait, none of the heroes can play this, and then I was like, oh, duh, the original hero can play this. So
yeah, it's probably it's an expansion slot that they probably just like give a nod to Briar, I guess.
Yeah, that's really cool. It is definitely a Briar card, and I don't even know if I knew this card existed. This may be the first time. Yeah, this may be the first time I'm seeing this card. Return an attack action card with cost less than X from your graveyard to your hand, where X is the total arcane damage you've dealt to opposing heroes this turn. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
From your graveyard to your hand.
Yeah, because it
does go again.
Briar was playing. It's a generic card that when you block it, you get to tutor something.
It's not Regrowth, is it? Not Regrowth. That's what this card is called. I know it's an Earth card, but I can't think of what it's called. Rampant Regrowth?
No, there was a generic attack.
Oh, generic attack.
It was for 3. It would attack for 3, and if you blocked it, like if your opponent blocked it, it allowed you to like tutor something.
Oh, I have no idea.
Or like put something from graveyard on top of deck.
Give and take?
Kind of that. I don't know.
You're talking about give and take?
Yeah. Give and take. Thank you. Yes. This kind of reminds me of that in a way, where you have like similar recursion, but in a very different way. I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, it is an interesting card. I don't know. That's pretty cool. Let's take a look at the art, because I am very confused with the art, because when I looked at the left side of this, I thought it was a goofy dragon. So I thought that like you did too? You thought it was like a Mushu?
I saw that.
Okay, cool.
I saw dragon.
I thought this was like Mushu. I was like, what in the green Mushu is going on here? But then like when you actually look at it, it's just a flower?
Yeah.
Wow, that's so funny. I legit thought this was a goofy Mushu. And maybe that is intentional, that it's supposed to look like a dragon. But like also be abstract enough to not be a dragon? I wonder. I'm interested now. I'm going to have to ask Orson Captain Sass.
There you go. Ask him up.
That is awesome. That is an awesome... Is this like a online personality? Is that their actual last name? That is legit. It is Captain Sass.
I love that.
That is awesome. What an awesome name. That is incredible. Oh my gosh. So any other cards that you're interested in playing in Vynnset from the new set?
I don't think so. I think we covered it all. The two auras, like the common aura, the rare aura.
Are you interested in... You're not interested in arcane cussing at all?
I can see why people are excited about it. I don't think so. Again, I see the 1 cost, and the 1 cost is like, you better have Tunic up, because we don't really like to pitch that much into these types of things. I think it is quite good, and like the ceiling on it is quite high. Like if we're playing Dirge, and obviously you get this out and you target it with Dirge, and you just make 6 rune chance, it feels pretty amazing. I don't know. I feel like it might just be... I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not testing it currently, I know other Vynnset players are excited about it, so I don't know where I land on this yet. But
Yeah, it's
don't
very interesting
think
because, like, I mean, it's kind of weird to like play it this way, but like the first thing I thought of was this into Shadow non-attack activate Vynnset.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, so but then you still have to pay 1 for it, and it seems like with just from, I don't know anything about Vynnset, but just from the games I've watched, it seems like you really struggle on, like, if you have a 2-card hand and like you really want to have that thing be able to help you play your card out of banished, and like this just kind of seems like it makes your deck a little more clunky, but I don't know.
Yeah, I have a similar impression. Yeah, I don't know. Again, I could be wrong on it. Anytime we're making 3 rune chants, like, we're happy about it. So I feel like after some testing, if I'm feeling that I still need more rune chant generation, then this is definitely a card that I'm going to be looking at. Because, yeah, it's versatile enough. We do have some agency over, like, when it pops, just with our Shadow non-attack sort of thing. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it yet.
Interesting. Well, there you go. I think that's probably going to be it. I'm sorry, I don't even know. I'm gonna have to come up with some catchy title for this video. But you know, honestly, again, the whole point of this video was I really love Jay. You know, we got to you know, meeting just because he casted my match, and then actually getting to meet in person, and like his online personality being exactly who he is in person, just a really genuine, fun to talk to guy. It was just really cool. Like, I've had the opportunity. I was like, oh, we're gonna play a match. Like, we need to just record a video. I don't care what it is. I just want to talk to you. So yeah. Basically, this video exists just so I could have an excuse to talk to Jay, because I just love the guy. And so there you go. That's the video. Hopefully, you guys got something out of it. Jay, tell them where you're at, what things you do, and then we'll sign off of this thing.
Yeah, well, thanks first and foremost for having me. It was a ton of fun, and we don't need an excuse to chat, but I appreciate you having me on, and I love you right back, buddy. Zen State Fab on pretty much everything. I'm not very good on social media, so like don't bother following me on X essentially, but like YouTube. Find me on YouTube, Zen State Fab. I'm on the Spike Feeders Fab every once in a while as a guest, playing some decks and trying to beat Bill. So that's about it.
All right, man. Again, thank you guys so much. I say this all the time, but seriously, like, this game is just, for me, is all about the people. So, you know, I'm so glad to have met Jay and gotten this opportunity to sit down and talk with him. Hopefully you guys got something out of this. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If not, you know, just engage with the video anyway. And until next time, guys, peace.